Hey everyone, it's Maximum09 again with another tutorial video, this time on defensive techniques and why each technique works. First, I would like to say thank you to everyone who watches these videos. It does truly mean a lot to me and is my goal to get at least 10 subscribers. Before we get back to the main content, notice that this is primarily for the ones game mode, however it is applicable to all of Rocket League. Okay everyone, the first technique that I want to talk about today is shadow defending. Shadow defense is when you place your car in between your opponent and your goal. This allows you to influence and predict your opponent's movements. When you are performing this defensive technique, you will usually have ball cam on and focus on shadowing your opponent. What shadowing refers to is that you are mimicking your opponent's moves off the ball. So if they are on the left-hand part of the field, then you are also on the left-hand side of the field. If they are on the left-hand side of the ball, you are also on the left-hand side of the ball. You want to be far enough away that they won't be able to flick the ball over you, but close enough that you aren't giving them the space that they want, like I'm doing in these clips right now. Shadow defense is applicable in almost every scenario, like right here. You can see in this clip that I am mimicking the ball's movements and trying to almost recreate what it would be like if they were about to take a shot. When shadowing your opponent, you want one of two things to happen. You would either want your opponent to try and force his way through so you can engage in a 50-50, or you want him to take a shot in the same direction that you are moving. When he takes a shot, you are in perfect position to start accelerating and make a save. However, there are some cons to shadowing your opponent. One of the downsides is that when shadowing your opponent, he dictates the speed and pace at which you and the ball move, so you lack control over when they take a shot or when they dribble the ball in. To counter this, you can engage in an early challenge that will throw the opponent off their tempo and can lead to a quick goal. Another con to shadowing in, say, a 1v2 scenario when you're playing in a team game mode is that you aren't able to cut off the passing lane. Sure, you could go out of your way to block the pass, but that will leave the goalie open to a 1v1 and force your goalie to commit to a challenge. A common fix to this, again, is to try for an early challenge or lead the attacker into the corner. Once they're in the corner, you can get a solid 50-50 or a clear back into the center of the field. This next topic is about where to be inside of the goal in order to save the ball. We will simplify this into three positions: back post, mid goal, and forward post. Each of these positions I will represent by a number, so I'll have back post be number 1, mid goal will be number 2, and front post will be number 3, like shown in the diagram. Now I understand that each of these positions are important in different situations, but I'm going to speak in a broad term here. The back post position is the most used goal position in order to save a shot on target. It allows a defender to go anywhere in the goal depending on where the shot is coming in. This position, however, is most applicable for when the ball is on one side of the field. So if the ball is coming in on the right side of the pitch, then you should be on the far left post of your own net. Like I said before, this position is best used when you know the attacker is going to take a shot outside of the goal box. But when the attacker is dribbling the ball in the middle of the pitch, it is much better to either be in the mid-goal position or to force them into a 50-50. The mid-goal position is a great and also commonly used position when the attacker is dribbling or taking a basic shot on target. This position offers an average reach to the different corners of the goal, and in this position you want to be either a little ahead of the goal line or a little behind the goal line. When you are a little ahead of the goal line, you are in a better position to go for a challenge and can respond much faster to a dribble play than if you were to be behind the goal line. When you are a little behind the goal line, it is much easier for you to save a shot on target rather than to challenge a dribble play. Since being further back, it'll take much longer for you to speed up in order to make a good challenge. Lastly, there is a front post position. This position is most beneficial when you are ready to challenge a ball that is in the corner or your opponent is on the wall with the ball. When you do the front post position of the goal net, it usually happens when you do a front post rotation, like I said in my last video about rotations. Finally, we are on one of the most crucial and most researched topics of Rocket League, which is challenging the ball. Challenging the ball in 50-50s is a foundation to a player's mechanics and the defensive repertoire of a player. When challenging the ball, there are a couple ways to go about it. One of the most common types of challenges is called a push challenge, and also in kickoffs it's called a push kickoff. The push challenge is simply flipping in the same direction that your car is accelerating. So let's say that you're going from the right corner to the middle of the field to challenge the ball. You would simply flip directly into the ball straight ahead, keeping your acceleration and momentum from the right corner to the middle of the field. Often this type of challenge is effective depending on whether you do a front flip into the ball or you do a side flip into the ball. The key concept to execute is just to flip straight into the ball. It doesn't have to be fancy. If you do choose to do a side flip, you will get more surface area and be able to push it a little bit more, as in it will be more like a diagonal flip, and diagonal flips have much more speed associated with them than a front flip. A front flip, however, is still a perfectly viable option. The second kind of challenge is the hook challenge, where instead of pushing into the ball, you want to make a hooking motion at the ball. This will help to steal the ball from the opponent instead of just trying to power through the ball with the push challenge. This form of challenge has a multitude of utilities, such as taking the ball away from your opponent, allowing for quicker and sudden changes towards the ball, and can overall aid in getting possession back for yourself or your team. When you perform a hook challenge, the premise of it is, let's say that you were in the same example as going from the right corner to the middle of the field. When you go from the right corner, instead of flipping to the left corner on your opponent's side, you will instead be doing a right side flip or a right diagonal flip. What this does is it helps your car to hook around the ball, and it will help to push it out towards a different area. This will, in concept, steal the ball from under your opponent and allow you to quickly go towards their goal. A quick final few tips for defensive strategies is to first really try and practice that shadow defense. Whenever you forfeit possession of the play or the ball, you should grab a couple of small boost pads that are scattered out throughout the field and immediately rotate into shadowing if you are in ones. Later on throughout the week, I will make a video about doubles and standard playlist strategies. In the ones playlist, I recommend first learning and practicing challenges on the ball. Really make sure that your flips are solid and you are hitting the ball with the nose or the top of your car for the most power and surface area. Second, practice shadow defense. There are a ton of shadow defense custom training packs that you can play. I'll have one or two listed in my description box. Finally, if you have any questions about what was discussed or said in this video, or if you have anything to say about the graphs or diagrams that I did show, please leave a comment in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.